What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Matthew holy moly, Amy's in the house. Oh, geez, that big picture. There she is. Amy, Olivia, myself are on tonight. Going into Donald Trump. Tariffs. Is the world gonna end? We're all gonna die.
All gonna die.
Freaking liberals. They never let a crisis go averted. Stock exchange took a plummet. Of course it did. Luckily, it's like $45,000 and needs a correction. But literally, like dominoes, all these countries fell. I love it. We'll talk about it. Olivia brought to my attention to an interesting hotline in Oregon. We're going to talk about illegals marching in California and all over the country. The summer of love is upon us. It's very close. I'm telling you, we're going to see the summer of love part 2, I think. Whole bunch of other stuff. Stick with us. Update on my cousin, or my nephew. Also an interesting thing found on Mars. That's really interesting. Thomas Austin sent me a cool video, but I can't get to it tonight. I'm probably going to get to it tomorrow. Especially on Trudeau and some of the things that he said. We got a good show. We'll be back. Remember, we're live 7 o'clock. Share this out with all your friends and family and loved ones. Let's get as many people on as we can. We'll see you back in a second. We might have to add to that video in the next day or two there, Livy.
Oh, really? Nice.
What do you...
Are you talking about a new...
What do you mean nice? How do you not know what we're talking about?
Gotcha. I was thinking about an endorsement. That's what I was thinking about.
No. To the cat.
Yes.
Well, you're digital.
Yeah.
Shut down your computer and restart.
Okay.
That I hear most often, that I always try to help people connect the dots, is what is past is prologue. And although Shakespeare, not my favorite, it's an interesting thing when you look at 1980 and the crack epidemic and what the United States government was involved in with the Contras.
No kidding.
So I don't understand why people are so shocked and they call Roseanne a conspiracy theorist. Because there's evidence in the past of the government getting involved in this, and there's plenty of books on this, and you can read this.
Hey, here's what I think. I love your show, by the way, Matt Spear, and
Thank you, ma'am.
Just discovered you about a week ago,
ma'am.
Oh my God, this guy's a genius. The facts he can spew.
God, I love you.
You can spew fact, and that's the sign of a genius.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I appreciate you asking me that.
So you just made my life.
I do remember back when they were bringing the crack cocaine into the black neighborhoods, and that proved that the CIA was doing it.
Yeah.
Because they were grooming that population, and they've been.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
I think the audio is being held hostage by another computer program, so I need to restart. But we're going to hear some popping. I don't think we'll hear it in our voice. Liv, give me a test 1 2.
Testing 1 2.
No, you sound gorgeous.
Okay.
Amy?
Yeah, I'm hearing it in my ears.
Testing 1 2.
Yeah, you're
Test
good. It might be Ames.
Oh no.
Amy, call me back on the new one. I'm going to create a group real quick for us. The old one that's new. Zoom.
The old one that's new.
And we're gonna try it. I think it's you, but
It's always me.
It's a software update. It's not always you, but it's a software update.
Actually is.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's you. Yeah. So let me do this.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Because I took off my cloud lifter and I'm on the old one. And I'm wondering if I need that for the old one, but not the new one.
Yeah, you don't need it for the new one.
Yeah.
But it's this. We're going to be together soon anyway, but we got to get your new camera set up, and then I got to get you a new soundboard. You have an old one. I need to get you an upgrade. That's all. So that's in the budget. And when Leroy comes out, we're going to give him his camera and stuff, and then we're going to get you taken care of on your soundboard. Call me back. I just sent you the email, and let's see if that works. Okay. Bye. All right. So we're going to wait for Amy. She'll be back in 2 seconds. So try to make the best show possible, and she is amazing, and she'll be back as soon as that. See, give me a holla.
Hey there, everybody.
Try it again.
Testing.
Yeah. How's your internet today? Is it down a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think so. I haven't been home all day, so I haven't used it. This is like the first time I've logged in to my computer.
Now you want to turn your volume back up. That's what's happening. So your volume, for some reason, through this old program, we got to go in and change the setting. I will fix that. But now watch this.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
test.
You need to bring it down 10% and you should be good. All right.
Testing.
Test. Yeah, that's good. That's
Perfect.
good for me. Good for everybody else.
C.
Make sure we want to make sure myself, Amy, and Olivia are all audible and at the same level. If anyone's different, just let us know. And right now the indicators are that we're coming in all the same. I know Olivia and I are. Liv, give me one more.
Testing.
Yeah, Olivia and I are good. You're coming in just a tad hot, Liv. Amy, one more time.
Testing.
That's a little hot. Come down again. Okay, let's give it one more try. Give me a test.
Testing.
Perfect. All right, we're all happy.
Okay.
Let's rock and roll. Sorry for the glitch. And then we work on the flight. We don't have a sound crew. Normally, a sound crew would be working on it. Like if this was Tim Pool's show or something, they'd be working on it in the background. We don't have that. It's me, and we figure it out. We get it done. It takes a little bit of a second. Let's rock and roll. We got a lot to do. What is the one geometric feature that is the rarest in nature, Amy?
Square.
Yeah, very good. 90-degree angle. Outstanding, Ames. So that is absolutely true. And the reason why is perfect symmetrics are an impossible thing. Nothing is truly symmetrical. And this might be a little bit above people's pay grade when it comes to wanting to think about stuff like this, but we're going to do it anyway. So if I measure you, Amy, and I pull out a tape measure or a ruler and I measure you from your feet all the way to the top, is that an accurate measurement?
It's a roughly accurate measurement, yes.
Right. Could it ever be 100% accurate?
No.
Never. right? There's
I
no
mean,
such
I don't think so. Yeah.
There's not. So measurements can be done with micrometers, and you can get really, really close. But even the indicator of where the line is has a unit of measurement as the line itself. The sand and underneath your shoe as you sit up against the wall, or the dirt, all of that means that you can never have a perfect measurement. The Earth is very similar to the same way. As a lot of people think it's a globe, and it's actually not. It's more of like the wide, wild world of sports, and it's more of an oblong, but it's still a circle, but it's imperfect in its design, and that has to do with its wobble and ultimately why it wobbles. But the interesting thing is that if you take, this is a really cool thing, if you take the Earth at its highest point, okay, which would be K1, right? And then at its lowest, which would be like the Laurentine Abysmal, we don't even know what the deepest is,
right,
because we can't go that far. But let's imagine that crevasse as a spike on the Earth. So you see this beautiful circle that looks perfect, but if you're outer space, but if you zoom in, you'll start seeing the imperfections of the circle. You'll see mountains, and you'll see oceans, and you'll see valleys and dips and everything else. But if you want to look at that, how high that would be, like 21,000 feet up versus, 7-8 miles down or more, that is a massive distance. But if you were to take the Earth and shrink it to the size of a golf ball, and you rubbed your hands around it, what would you feel?
just like a golf ball, like bumps.
Not even that. It's actually not. You would feel the smoothest, most precise thing ever created. And we don't have the capability to create anything that would be so smooth. Even like a ball bearing or a steel ball bearing, you feel it. That would be rough considering shrinking the Earth down to its smallest size. So why ask that question, right? Or why talk about it? Because it's a very interesting phenomena when it comes to scale and size, usually demonstrate more flaws. And when you get something smaller or shrink it down, those flaws and those imperfections become minute, where it goes past our grasp to feel and touch and to sense. But if you were to use a 1,000 or 30,000 microscope and look at it, you would see these giant dips and valleys, but our capability to touch those are not readily available. So when we see a 90-degree angle in nature, which is almost a perfect 90-degree angle, it is a rarity. And it's an anomaly in nature, and it really only happens on a few things. It happens on like salt and crystals and a few fungi. As they branch and they expand and they grow, you can get 90-degree angles, but also ice can do it, in ice crystals. But it's a geometric pattern, and therefore its entire makeup and structure needs to be geometry based, with usually the same left, right, up, down, dimensions of almost being an exact replica of itself, no matter how you look at it. And that's what a snowflake does. That's what a lot of crystals will do, is that they all work in certain branches in certain ways. And even the crystals that you see and you touch, the ones that we buy at when we go to the Cave of the Winds or whatever, and you buy these amazing pieces of crystal, if you zoom in and look at those smooth crystals, they have massive amounts of spikes on them too, but your fingers can't touch them. So why am I talking about this? Because I love this shit. I love physics. I love science and space, and it's kind of my fourth hobby. Most people understand I'm pretty good at military hardware and equipment, and government, hockey, and a couple of other topics. But I'm starting to move into science, and I'm really interested. Because, Amy, when you think of Mars, and Olivia already knows some of this, is why I'm asking you. When you think of Mars, what do you think of? What are some of the things that come to mind?
I mean, we don't know much about it, right? I thought it was a lot of gases, or they call it the red planet, right? So I don't know. I don't think I know much about Mars, to be honest.
Very
Maybe
barren.
there's like
Very,
some water on it. I think they found like a lake or something a few years ago, right? I
yeah,
don't know.
they found water on the caps,
Yeah.
and which is something that we would anticipate. But all of the minerals and all of the things that the Earth got ultimately were from asteroids, unless you go by the Bible, right? You go just going by science and leaving the Bible out of this, which is a totally different belief than I have. I'm more aligned with a lot of the things that are in the Bible, but I also believe that some of it's science as well. But if you look at all of those things that we have accumulated, whether it be cobalt or magnesium or anything else, all derived pretty much from asteroids that would melt when we were liquid magma and matriculate through the circumference of the Earth. And then when it cooled, obviously these minerals and these deposits are found all over the world. The reason why I bring this up is because I have something extremely interesting to show you that's going to blow your fucking mind if you've listened to what I've said. And Olivia and I and the kids watched Interstellar. We watched the Mars one with Matt Damon. Two very different Matt Damon characters, by the way. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Interstellar, he's crazy. But I was very interested when I saw water on Mars because it would be indicative of life, at least life as we know it. But I had a theory that I've said on the show before that I believe every planet, even a rock, but more importantly, planets that are considered dead now, like Mars would be, is that it once had life. Now that goes against a lot of things, and especially the Bible. But I think it's a very interesting thing. And ultimately, I believe that it was a fresh and lush planet at one point, and ultimately the civilization died off, as we will too, because we'll dry up. I mean, it's inevitable. We have a semi-permeable atmosphere. It's going to dry up. And it will either begin again in a new, or it won't. It'll change forms, or we could have a cataclysmic event. There's a lot of things. But the chances of us being here on the same timeline that we are right now are slim to none. So if I was to show you a photograph in Mars that was almost a perfect square, would that shock you? Based upon that it's a barren tundra, it's very much like the Badlands of New Mexico, very red, Utah, a lot of dust, a lot of rock, not necessarily hospitable in any way, shape, or form. Would it surprise you to see a structure that was a square?
Can I ask what is it, like a square in like the in
That's a
a
good
like
question.
sand, or like the dust, or is it like an object?
It's a very good question. That would be one of the first questions I had. Liv, did you have a question when you first? By the way, you look very pretty tonight, Liv. Did you? So do you, Amy. Yenny, you too.
Thanks.
Shut up.
I
So
worked today.
it's okay. So what? Liv, did you have a question about it when you first heard this and thought about it, or no? You good?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So here is the image, and I'm going to let you guys look at it. Now, this has been enhanced to help.
I think I heard about this.
Yeah. To help you see the pattern. This is the original image, but the one on the right is enhanced to help you see the overall image of this. But you can see that this is, and when you line it all up, it is in the exact pattern of a square. This is from NASA. NASA did the measurements, and they zoomed in from this at altitude with a satellite and found a square. It looks like a baseball diamond, honestly. I wonder if they, the marshy Martians played there or something. So now that you see it, what's your next question?
How big is that?
Is that your question, Ames?
Well, I have questions about the surface there. If it's rock, I mean, do we know? I heard it was pyramids. That's right. I think I heard this a few days ago that they had discovered the base of a pyramid on Mars.
It's sand, rock, extremely rocky and dense.
Yeah.
We're getting cracks and pots. I don't know why. So
it could be me.
before we start analyzing.
I think it's my headphones, if you can believe it. I think they've gone bad.
No, there's a connection issue.
So my headphones are plugged in, and I hear it sometimes.
Okay, well,
and I had to mess with the thing, and I'll just get new ones.
It's okay. We're all right. So before we start breaking this down in questions, let's just ask ourselves something that's important: is how big is it? Because that's really going to decide a lot. If this thing's the size of a matchbook, who gives a shit? If this thing's the size of a house, really also who gives a shit? But if I told you that this was 3 kilometers wide, now how do you feel?
Well, yeah. How many miles is that for us Americans?
2.8 miles.
2.8 miles. Wow.
Yeah, let me get the
That's
actual.
That's pretty big.
Do they have earthquakes on Mars? I just have questions. I mean, because vibrations can actually push things into different shapes. So I just have a lot of questions too.
You're talking about cymatics, which is absolutely true. Sound creates different types of geographical patterns. However, there is no cymatic that makes a perfect square.
Right.
Certain pitches will actually make a square, but it will have incoming concave.
Yes, it will.
And it will not be a perfect symmetrical. That's the issue. But cymatics is a fucking boom. Blew my mind that you even just got that. That's amazing, Amy. 100% great question, but no. So it's a really good question, actually. But I've seen all the patterns of different tonation, and you can put it on a subwoofer with salt on a plate, and you can see all the different patterns of sound based upon the frequency, 20 hertz to 200 hertz. I was wrong, not 2.86, 1.86. My math
still big.
I dropped it. Yeah, it's definitely you, Ames, and I don't know why, but it's maybe a full restart would work, but we're getting a little pop. I think everyone's going to be fine with it. But here's the close up, and you can see that you would say, okay, well, what about a table shelf? You know, like a plateau. We see plateaus all the time, or tundra. Yes, you would see that, but you wouldn't see the perfectly symmetrical outline. And it does look like a foundation, most assuredly. And it's interesting. Yeah, 1.6K in a mile. So I don't know why I put the extra mile. It doesn't matter. I'm too excited. So it's something to think about. Why are we?
I don't know.
We are having. You know what? I'm going to do a full reset on our panel. Everyone just kind of hang out. Amy, you can just talk and say hi. This is going to take about 5 seconds.
Hi, everyone. I hope it's been a great Monday for everybody. We're having 6 more weeks of winter.
Us.
Is it? Okay.
Thanks to the groundhog.
Oh, did you do?
Do you still want me to keep talking? So here's a fun fact. I can't see
comments.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, no.
Tell her to hold on. Yeah, I wish I could do it, but test. So a lot of people like it sounds fine. No, it doesn't. It's popping, like it hurts. It literally. I didn't hear it. It's a sharp. The panel. This will probably fix it. But that's it. So it's okay. Do I speak? Oh. Happy Monday. Thank you, Bobby.
Oh.
Thanks for getting us started.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
You're coming in much better right now.
Yeah, maybe it was us. Yeah.
So the thing that I think about is I don't believe in space aliens and UFOs and all of this, but if you have something that resembles a pyramid, I want you to think of the improbability that space aliens, first of all, would look anything like us, which they won't. The probability of them being bipedal creatures are so infinite, I can't even begin to tell you. Second, for them to have their domiciles and building structures to be similar, you just have to look at teepees, look at Middle European design, look at Indonesia, look at Africa. Domiciles and homes are Eskimos are nice. It's not based upon structure of a geometric design. It's by equivalency to be the easiest to produce that provides the most safety. So to find two structures, one on Mars and one on Earth, that are very similar in design of how you would build a pyramid and are showing the deterioration of what our own pyramids are going through. It's really interesting. And it just makes you go Joe Rogan a little bit. I'm going to open it up to Amy and Olivia, but I want to get you guys' thoughts. Go ahead.
I feel like I should go last because I'll have the wildest
Go ahead,
opinion.
Liv. Go ahead, Liv. Is that where heaven is?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Liv.
I mean, when I saw this, I mean, ever since I was little, I've always thought there's maybe a parallel universe out there with us exactly as we are, but like living the life of the one we didn't. So if you had to make a decision, you made this one and that's the one I'm living. And then the other decision is, you know, that Olivia's living. I don't know. That's just how my mind has worked. But the only thing I can think of when I see that, I mean, it was really cool to see. It looks like rocks. And the first thing I thought of was, because I love ancient Egypt and I like looking at, you know, all that stuff and studying that stuff. It looks like pictures of old civilizations, you know, of towns and stuff that are no longer. Pompeii, they got buried by the volcano and stuff like that. So that's what it reminded me of. But it's really hard for me to think of what kind of a creature could build something like that. That is something that humans build on Earth would be able to build something like that. And
Right.
I can't wrap my head around that. You know, do they have opposable thumbs? I mean, what
Do they need opposable thumbs?
Yeah, I mean, can they build with like laser beams coming out of their eyys or something? Like, I don't know.
course.
It's hard to wrap your head around
The first question you would have to ask yourself is, because listen, Joe Rogan says it all the time that the pyramids are impossible to make with modern day technology. This is completely a fallacy. It's a 100% fallacy. Water flotation and channel devices were created then. They could use water to float stone. They had leverage systems. They used rolling logs. They used slave labor, and the Chinese did it with the Great Wall of China. So it is possible. But when you look at something this size and this scope, it's a ridiculous size for something. And it's, you know, like I said, 1.86 miles, 3 kilometers. You would have to ask yourself the question, okay, well, if they've figured out the limitations of space, have they figured out the limitations of gravity, which is why we can't travel to places in the known universe? So if they've figured out gravity, they have anti-gravitational devices. And you just start going down the rabbit hole. So that's when I stop and I start trying to pick this apart. And I'm a smart fucking guy. Not tooting my horn, but this one's tough. This one's throwing me for a loop. So Amy, I want to get your thoughts.
First, I have a quick question. How big is because I've never been to the pyramids. I've never been to Egypt. How big are the pyramids? Are they roughly the same size as this? Like, I have no concept. That was like 100 years ago for me that I learned this stuff.
Not even close.
Okay.
I have been to 2 up close. And I've been to a few in Mexico too. So Mayans and Achua.
I've been to those.
Yeah. So Cholula, 1,480, so 450 meters per side. So you're looking at 1/10 of a mile.
Okay.
So 1/10 of a mile on each side. Total square is going to be 4/10 of a mile.
Okay.
Egypt is 146, much smaller. Much smaller. The Great Pyramid of Giza is 481 feet high, but 146. Wait. Giza sides, not height. I mean, height is still an amazing accomplishment to be that tall. 500 feet. That's ridiculous. 230.4 meters. So it's actually much bigger. 756 feet. Thank you, Deborah.
Yes, thank you, Deborah.
So no, not comparable. This thing is roughly 50 times bigger. No, not 50. I'll figure out how much bigger. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is all speculative. I am not a theologian and I've never been to like theology school. I've always wanted to go, but I do study the Bible pretty good. Um, I will say this, speaking from a biblical standpoint, we talk about the Nephilim, which is mentioned in the Bible many times. They are they're believed to be a hybrid of human. I mean, it says it in the Bible. They're
Yeah.
angels, fallen angels, and humans. And this has created a super race, essentially, of Nephilim, which some do believe. And I believe it's in the Apocrypha. I have not read it yet, but I've heard stories from it. I know a little bit about it, that the Nephilim helped to build the pyramids because they were giants and it would be much easier for them than the humans to build this. So I'm wondering, as these, angels are not on the same plane as us, essentially, like they live in a different dimension, then could they have built these on Mars? I don't know.
It's a great question. It's
yeah.
like the Nephilim have a lot of common sinew with Egyptians and ancient Egyptians and a lot of the pharaohs, the gold.
What?
Okay,
why are you telling me? Thank you. Love you.
They're emblazoned tabards. And the Nephilim is interesting. And the Nephilim were involved in an ancient war with demons. And this entire processes is an interesting read. And this is where a lot of people get upset and they go, well, you can't believe you play the game Diablo. Well, if you want to learn about the Nephilim, go play the game Diablo, because it's an incredible game and it covers all of this. But it's an interesting point, but we have to ask ourselves the question, is we understand, and yes, there's wind. Carrie says, is there wind on Mars? Yeah, absolutely. They have storms. They have solar storms all the time. By the way, it would be, I think my math is right. I just had to get my calculator. It's 169 times the size of the Pyramid of Giza.
Jeez. Yes. It's crazy.
169 times.
That's amazing.
Right. So here's
it's
what
like Earth compared to Jupiter or something.
Yeah.
It's just an incredible amount of size. It's an incredible amount of labor. It is a rarity. And here's the thing, folks, is we have rock formations and sediment that's very similar to Mars, and these type of formations do not happen in the world. They just don't. They don't happen here. And although our atmosphere is different, our gravity, it's actually a little bit heavier, I believe, in Mars. I think it's like a quarter of the gravity of Earth. But that wouldn't change things. Now, could it be some sort of, now here's the other thing. It's just, could it be some sort of crash? Could it be another piece of another planet that ultimately impacted Mars? Could it be a geological structure at a larger scale than we understand, like a crystal that simply has formulated and is remaining from? Could it also be a deposit? Could it literally, now everyone here, I figured it out. Fuck. I need to call NASA. Fuck, I figured it out. I fucking figured it out. I know what it is. It's not a structure. Oh my God. Okay, so if you take molten hot lava and you mix it with like a something like a pumice stone, will it melt?
Is that obsidian? Don't you get obsidian from that? I'm
you
not
get
sure.
obsidian glass from molten lava, but there are certain things that do not burn in lava. There are certain types of sediment that do not. Their melting point is too high for lava. But you also, when you have lava, very much to having a saline solution in fresh water, it will not mix properly. And I can't remember, it's called I don't know. But the point is, if you take molten hot lead or lava or rock, and you take another substance that's really not known to us, and we would have to sample this, what you will have is it may not be affected by heat, but it can be affected by erosion. It can be affected by wind. It might be a softer, like a pumice, which holds up to high intense heat, but does not necessarily melt, but also is a very porous and soft rock, which is susceptible to winds and things like that. This would make sense if it was a geode that formed, a large rock that formed into like a crystal because of its makeup that we don't understand, because there are elements on Mars that are different than our periodic table. Although some have traveled here, some of them are unknown to man because we haven't done the sampling. You very well could have a geode, which is made of two things. I want you to think of a sword. Sword has a very strong hilt, but the metal blade is usually different than that. So it can break at its weakest point, which is at the hilt. So I want you to think of a geode that is made of this very tough, very hard rock. And then at the top, you have something that is not the same material, but is fused together. And if it is a liquid, it would be a level, clean separation. So you would have erosion over billions and billions and billions of years that would take that top layer off, leaving where the geode formed. Now, is that what happened? I don't know, but it's a damn good explanation and possibly something that took place. I don't have the answer. But, this just blows my mind. And it's unbelievable to me because I can't fathom what it could be. This is where we have to have faith, and this is where we have to have belief in things that we just can't comprehend and understand. But to me, Melanie says lead, nickel, diamonds. Right, so you can have different forms of material that erode that erode with disparity. And this would be where it formed, and it's remaining this hardened material that leaves a geode-like structure in the Earth or in the surface of Mars.
Makes me wonder if they'll ever find remains. If there was life on Earth or on Mars, are they too far gone to ever find any type of remains of a creature of any kind?
And based upon this, it would have to be a fossil. So yes, but it would not be on the surface. And based upon the amount of sand, you guys got to understand. You go into the Sahara. There is a point where if you could scoop all the sand out of the Sahara, you will see earth and hard rock. It's just millions upon millions of years of hard wind and hard climate that's created sand. So at some point, you could find something. Maybe Amy, from the theological standpoint.
I'm actually like thinking about what you've said about something maybe crashing into this. Like, was there a part of one of our spacecrafts, because they had squares? Like, did something deposit there back in the 70s, and then they had some kind of crystals that actually grew upon this in that same formation and grew bigger and bigger? I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously,
yeah.
I don't know. But I'd be a lot richer.
But the one thing about matter, what we know is it needs to have a source for its growth. It can't exponentially increase its footprint without, like the human body needs nutrients. Well, a crystal needs a certain level of minerals to go ahead and continue its growth. So it just landing there and continuing to grow, I don't know. Now, when Mars was formed, because this is why I told you about the peaks and valleys, remember? And I told you where if you took Earth and you shrunk it down to a golf ball, it'd be smooth. My point is, was this the full size of Mars? How old is Mars? So there's a lot of questions here. Could it have been a giant geode structure, which is just worn down to the nub, and this is one of the remnants, or was exposed by a high windstorm, which shows us this bottom? I don't know, but to me, it looks like a structure. It just looks like a structure.
Yeah.
And it looks man-made, or intelligent life made it. That's what it looks like to me. Whether it is or not, I don't know. By the way, gravity on Mars. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for all your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
It is, and we're going to move off this. We have a whole bunch of stuff, but this is news. I'm sorry. This is cool.
It is.
Yeah, super cool.
Thank you guys for all your hard work. Thank you very much, ma'am. So just something to talk about, and it's a little bit different, but there's nothing wrong with learning some things. Earth's gravity, it's about 38%. I think I said 28, so a little bit off. But yeah, about a quarter, 4/10 the gravity of Earth. So it's going to be heavier. There's going to be more pressure. Does that change the formation of rocks or the formation of magma? Could it possibly be the core of Mars and its cooled area. This is a pocket of some sort. Like the structure is a different material that was liquid versus the formation, and it's more geode based. I don't know.
So are you lighter on Mars or heavier on Mars?
Heavier.
You're heavier. Okay.
So it's 38% of
so
our.
if I weighed 100 pounds and I went to Mars, I weighed 140 technically?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. It's 4 times the Earth's gravity, so it's going to put more pressure on you.
Gotcha. Melanie said they found an organism on Mars.
Oh,
So
gets better.
that's interesting.
What was it?
I don't know. They have found a one called organism on Mars.
Wait,
A one
scratch
cell.
this. Wait, I got to scratch that. I'm so very sorry. If you weigh 100 pounds here, you'd be lighter.
Okay, 4 times.
So it's less gravity.
Okay.
So it doesn't push as much. So it would remove, if 100 pounds, you take 38 pounds off, you're going to have a net positive of 62 pounds, basically.
Got it. Okay.
I apologize. I reversed.
Reversed
Reverse.
it.
Yeah, being closer. Yeah, overall gravitational pull would be further away. So yes, it would be lighter. The point is that it's not going to react. It's not like it's 3,000 or 1,000% heavier, like in some places, like if you go to Saturn or Jupiter. You're talking about anomalies where overall the gravitational pull of that planet is going to slow down time. So if you go to Saturn and you get into its gravitational field, or you go to a larger planet or a dwarf star or near a black hole, gravity gets pulled from a physics standpoint, and time will go by faster here and slower there. Now, I explained this really well when we were watching Interstellar, and everyone got it because I had graphics, but we don't need to do that tonight. I'm not a physicist. I literally just am a fan of weird, dipshitty stuff that somehow really does well in Trivial Pursuit. Anyway, it's interesting.
I have another quick question. Quick question that no one may have the answer to. We know the gravitational pull there, but do we know if there's any other forces that pull things in other directions? Like, is there some kind of pull that goes, like, could there be something that has formed this way because of whatever material it's made out of and the gravitational pull and whatever is manipulating this? I don't know. Just lots of things to think about. It's very interesting. This is exciting.
We don't know. We just don't know. I mean, and you listen, the God particle is like probably one of the greatest debates that never takes place.
Right.
And science needs to address the God particle because you cannot derive something from nothing. And at least from our understanding. So you can go ahead and break it down to everything you want, that it's just one atom or one microbe that ultimately kicked this whole thing up. Well, where did that God particle come from? So it's a whole nother conversation.
Maybe that's the Matt Damon's potato farm from The Martian.
Maybe. Estuarine stratification is what it's called. When salt water and water won't mix. So if you've never done any diving and you're in a salt water and then go to a fresh water, you will literally see very milky and soupy, depending upon the salt content, inside salt water. And then when you get into fresh water, it becomes very, very clear. There's several places where this takes place. It's all over. Predominantly you see it in caves, but you also can see it in a freshwater, saltwater mix on some places on the coasts. And it's like halocline or halocline is the short term for it.
Go to Xcaret in Mexico.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah. And it's like a zoo too. And you can go diving there and snorkeling, and it's like just amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing place. I think it's expensive now. When I went, it was like $10 because it was like 100 years ago. But now it's like become like a tourist place, but it's awesome. Totally go.
Well, we most assuredly, I'm going to kick off the A block and put it went into some overtime there. But you know what? I think it's worth it. We've got a lot to do. But final thoughts on this. We're in OT. Liv, wrap us up. Give us your final, and then Amy Bordeaux gave us.
Thank you, Amy.
26.25. Thank you. Liv, your thoughts then, Amy, and then we'll call it good.
They seem to be discovering more and more on Mars. Makes me kind of excited to see what else, what else they're going to discover. And, maybe it will give us an insight to what's going to happen to Earth at some point. Maybe Mars was like Earth at one point.
That's where my money is going. I absolutely believe it was. And I think if you look at other gas-type planets, which don't have a solid core, I believe over time, with the amount of gravity, amount of friction, amount of pressure, that those gases will turn into a solid, and you will have friction. You will have that core that ultimately will cool down, giving you a base for a planet. And then, if the chemicals are right and the right amount of what we understand from the periodic table, you can get nitrogen or oxygen, and then if you get that, you get water, and then we know life can form, at least as far as we know it. I just believe we are in an evolutionary state of our universe that is not defined. I just don't think it's defined. I think it changes, but if you believe in God, God is the creator of all life. So who is to say that new creations of life are not being discovered from a chemical reaction and a scientific reaction, but also from the hand of God? We don't have those answers. It's very deep. Amy?
My final thoughts. I think this is exciting. I mean, I'm fully representative of the Bible, and I am sure there's some kind of biblical explanation just because our Bible tells us what happened here on Earth. It does not talk about the other planets. I will say too, right now, at least as of what day? Saturday, I'm sure you can still see it. You could see Venus right next to our moon.
Yep.
Super
Yep.
bright, super cool. So easy to see.
Yep.
You don't need a telescope or anything. It's just amazing to see. So
I thought
yeah.
that was Jupiter. I didn't realize that was me because I was asking
If
Hayden.
Jupiter's
She's
like
pretty good.
It's Venus and Mars.
You should be able to see Jupiter soon. It should be
Yep.
coming out soon, but that one's
Yep.
Venus, and then Jupiter
Yep.
should be coming out sort of like next to it, sort of. So
Correct.
Yeah.
You can see Venus and Mars pretty much always. Within, closer we get to summer, they really become prominent, but you can see Jupiter at times too. Someone asked where the Hubble telescope is. It's 325 miles above Earth, moving at, I don't know, 17 or 27,000 miles an hour. It's an incredible. It's in geosynchronous orbit with the Earth at this point.
But they have a new telescope. I forget the name of it, but it's better. So
I don't remember. What's up?
I'm just talking
All
about
right.
my son. Can you just shut
Oh,
my door,
okay.
please? Thank you.
All right, let's move on. We got too much to do tonight. We got to get into some of the good stuff. I just figured it'd be a good conversation to bring up. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Liv found a very cool I don't know about cool, but an interesting article. And Liv, do you want to describe this?
Yeah, it was actually Amy Stancombe brought it to my attention. So as a viewer, if you think there's an interesting story, send it to me. So you never know. Could be on the show. There is a hotline in Oregon that you can call, that if you feel that you have been slighted in any way or someone has been biased against you and you feel you need mental health because of it, Oregon will pay for your free mental health. And a reporter from a newspaper decided to try it out and faked a story. And this is the recording of the phone call. And it's pretty interesting to listen
It's like the Jerky Boys.
I don't know. I
don't
don't
know.
think it was a joke. I think he actually was probably trying to do some research on it because he wasn't.
Well,
I don't know. It could. I don't know. But
was it like the JWST telescope or something like that?
somebody said James
Oh,
Webb Telescope.
Yeah,
That's
the
what it is,
JWST,
yes.
James
Yeah.
Webb. It's JWST. It's the acronym for it. Yeah. That's right. Okay. That thing's incredible, by the way. I mean, what it
It's
can
like a
do.
big mirror.
It's
awesome.
ridiculous. Like it's. I can't wait for. I hope I'm alive when we get to Mars. I want to know. There's things. I have questions. All right, let's get to this. Let's listen to it. It is. I don't have any visuals for you. I guess I can play the visuals. Who cares? Let's do that. Let's listen to it. It's about 3 minutes, and this will create some conversation, and then we got a whole bunch of other stuff to get into. Folks, if you've not had a chance to donate to the Donut Friendly Show, we have bumped to 300. We're going to try to keep at this for a while, but we're trying to break free of a couple of things and some arrangements we've made with some other vendors, and we want to pull away. I think this is a good number going into 2025. We knew we would have to. Liv, tell them where we're at with follows.
Ooh, 218,959 Seriously, we woke up on, what was it, Saturday morning? We woke up and we'd gone up like over 5,000 followers.
We've gained
overnight.
almost 20,000 followers in the last month.
It's
Amazing.
not even the last.
It's incredible. So
Yeah, it has been the last
So
month,
we're
yeah.
very excited, and things are growing, but with that comes, all the bells and whistles. So we have a lot of people on right now. So let's go ahead and do this. The state of Oregon runs a bias response hotline for citizens to report offensive speech. This is just fantastic. We'll go ahead and listen to it. If you have not had a chance to donate to the Donut and Friendly Show, you can do that by going to thedumbshow.com/donate. We do say it once a show. I did not say it at the beginning. I am sorry. And I hate to interrupt the middle of the show with donation talk. So there it is. We are funded 100% by you since Facebook canceled and took away almost $250,000 from us. We're asking for your help to keep going and stay free. Here is the audio. We'll listen to this, and then we'll have Olivia and Amy make some commentary. Here we go.
I'm having a bit of a dispute
Joanne, I'm glad you got your sweatshirt. I'm glad you love it. Thanks so much.
with my neighbor. I just moved, and I was talking to my neighbor. And I said I was Muslim. I said I thought that what was going on in Gaza was a genocide. And then the next day, my neighbor puts up a huge Israeli flag, on his front door, and it felt very targeted.
If you feel like there is an expression of animus against your religious beliefs, then that's a bias. And I want to center your perspective, and if you feel like this is a biased incident, that the flag is an expression of animosity against your faith or your country of origin, then we honor that, and I want to acknowledge that. So that would be a biased incident. Even if it is not very explicit, we go with whatever the victim is experiencing. And if your sense is that this is based on a discrimination against your faith or your country of origin, then we'll take that. That's how I would document it. So as it stands, it's a warning sign. I was wondering if you have security cameras if the situation does escalate. So if you take this person to court
this is
for
real.
a civil protective order, for a restraining order, oftentimes the restraining order fails because it is your word against their word. It's hard for the judge to be able to go one way or the other.
Okay.
But if you do have like a recording or video cameras that are kind of like providing evidence of the interaction, it just adds to your case. You could record conversations. I mean, if you think that you need to do that, you could organize a single party consent to the court. So you could record conversations.
You said you would log this as a bias incident?
Yeah.
All right. So obviously this is just knuckin' futz. And I want to show you another video that I posted on my Facebook page in regards to the DNC and the Democrat National Convention just voted. And this is insanity. And then we're going to put these two together, and then I want to get your thoughts. This is thought police. This is like, this is like Animal Farm and Fahrenheit 451 and Orwellian style censorship, the Ministry of Truth. These people are nuts. It's really hard for me to go ahead and even pretend that liberals are saying. Now, how can you listen to this and be like, I want to be a part of that party? Listen to this shit. This is the most confusing. This is like putting on a garter belt for a woman, I'm sure. It's very confusing.
Rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect one male, one female, and one person of any gender. So again,
So another male or
this is what
female?
we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect one male, one female, and one person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week, but I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity. As we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as one male and one female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have one officer of the three, so then we will know which position is filled of the one male, one female, and one vice chair of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the third position that is remaining based on the two results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
It's like who's on first for retards.
There's
I was
nothing
just-
simple about this.
I was going to say I understood the Mars pyramid thing better than I understood this.
Yeah,
I've
like,
got a
we
better
got the-
grasp on that.
Amy, go ahead. Give us your breakdown, then Liv, and then we'll kick it. David Schaefer, thanks for subscribing, my friend, on
Yes,
Facebook.
thank you.
We appreciate you. Go ahead, Ames.
Absolutely. Yeah, I stand by what I said. I'm very confused. First of all, there's only two genders. We established that as policy now. So I don't know when this took place, but there's only two genders. There's male and female. So I don't know what this other crap is. We are binary, and that is a fact proven by science, and you can identify as whatever you choose to. However, the facts are the facts. The science is the science. And I don't know what this vote was for, but I think we should do away with this whole department. It's my 2 cents.
Liv,
Yes.
your thoughts, and I listen to everything Amy's saying. I just got a message from Randy Sr. So
Okay.
Oh.
That's the third time I have watched that video, and I get more confused every time I watch it. I'm just like, what? This app makes absolutely no sense. To be completely honest, when Hayden was about 3, almost 4, she decided she wanted to make up a new language, and she called it Princess Speak Language. I actually still have some of the words written down, and she was very specific in which words meant what.
Right.
And I wrote it down, and she made me talk to her in this language. That's how I felt watching that video, that I was watching some other language that I have no idea how to understand or decipher what he was saying, because they're crazy. I don't get it. What the hell are they talking about? This is so confusing. My God. This is how the Democratic Party is going to die, because it's ran by people like that. Oh my gosh.
I don't even think it's ran by. I think honestly, they like to say we're a cult. I don't know. Listen, we had this conversation at dinner, as I understand, where some people might, or Olivia, or Hayden and I did it downstairs. Some people might go, okay, well, you believe in a floating Easter bunny in the sky. I think that's horribly rude, but okay, fine. If that's what you want to believe, and you think that Christians are, you guys believe that men can be women. You believe that life is not a baby inside of a womb. You guys, the difference between us is we are believing in good. And we have a belief structure that there's something past this mortal coil for us. And honestly, it doesn't hurt anybody. You guys are believing in shit that is like, you have proof, you have evidence it isn't true. And you guys just stick around plug your ears. It's like you guys are playing make believe and you never grew up. It's like you're 6 years old and you're just making shit up. Oh, well, the floor is lava. Well, I gave you a onesie tap, and no, I give you. I had a twosie shield on. Well, I had an infinity shield on. I mean, it's fucking, it's crazy. And I don't understand how rational adults, first of all, believe this stuff. Second of all, how are you procreating? Why are you having kids?
They're not.
Please.
Idiocracy. This is how idiocracy started.
It's just insanity. So, listen, the Democratic Party, it's kind of like Germany. You didn't learn in World War I, and you decided to go like full retard in World War II, and it got worse. Germany learned its lesson. You guys are like right where World War II is, and you're still holding on to what? It's only 11 million people. You're about to learn a very dangerous lesson that's going to set you back. And the Democrats are just, they're full tilt. They're like, oh, what? You guys believe that we're not popular anymore? Oh, well, wait till you see what we do next. 64% of people polled said that the Democrats are on the wrong track, and it is the most unpopular ever in party history, ever since slavery. That's something that should scare the living shit. Like, slavery is more acceptable than what you guys are doing. Like, the slaves would be like, yeah, you know what? Keep the chains on, massa. I'm all right for another month. Versus doing the shit that you're doing right now. That is how potent their idiocy is.
They're hypocritical, and that's the problem. My mom actually sent me this. I don't remember what it was, but it was, the gist of it was, was it the 80s or the 90s that we had like the ban on cigarettes advertising towards kids because it was supposed to make us want to smoke cigarettes. So they were targeting kids. We had the candy cigarettes, which I freaking loved. Man, they
love those
tasted
damn things.
so good, right?
Yeah,
and I remember sitting outside with my friends, smoking our candy cigarettes.
Oh yeah,
lemon heads, and
eating wax bottles,
corn nuts.
Oh yeah,
bottles of wax pop, where you pop off the wax and drink it.
So
and that was probably made in China. It was poison for sure.
Amazing childhood. We're not all. I don't think any of us smoke cigarettes, do we? But that was targeted to make us. We don't smoke currently.
No, but I smoked for 30 years. That's pretty long.
We all went through that phase, but we outgrew that, right?
Yeah, sure.
30 years, but
we grew a fourth along.
I did smoke for a little bit. Anyways, my point is they were targeting children. They decided that children are impressionable. We can't advertise towards them, but we can put books in schools with this gender nonsense, and we don't think that these kids are going to go, hey, it's just a hypocritical thing, and it's extremely awful. Like, just stick to the norms. Let the outliers be outliers. We can be kind to these people. We can show them respect, but let them be where they are. We don't have to accommodate them for everything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we can be kind to them anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just done. I used to do. Don't you remember when I first started the show? I'm like, listen, guys, there's a very big difference between liberals and leftists.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
They're all fucking crazy.
They're all fucking crazy. Like every one of them. And like the most sane and logical liberal family we know abandoned us for no other reason than we asked why they were wishing for Donald and Melania Trump to drink poison and die so Barron could be raised correctly.
That's horrible.
That's why Don't Unfriend Me started. So I just, everyone's like, don't lump us all together. If you are under the Democratic D, you're nuts. Now, you can say we're racist and fascists and Nazis, and that doesn't hold any merit. But you guys are legitimately romper room Looney Tunes shit. I mean, seriously, I don't mean to be rude. How can you possibly look at a man and see the outie and look at a woman and see the innie and go, innie's a man, outie's a woman? How? Well, because mentally. Okay, so it's a mental illness.
Yes.
No, it's a choice. It's a choice that they're mentally ill. Because I can be a choice that I can fly and jump off of a building, but most people would call me insane when I do it. Just because you can quantify it logically to yourself, well, what if you are the problem? What if your neuroses it's more relevant than cognitive reality and logic. It doesn't make any sense. Here's one more video on this thing, and this one's even worse. Here's the great thing. I want you to watch this. Here's the hypocrisy, and I love that Amy said it, because here are the people running for the head of the DNC.
Oh, watch I remember this girl.
This is hilarious.
She from a couple years ago?
Don't care. Watch the rest of this.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, Papa. Gracias por todo. My name is Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all. Truly take it in. This is the Democratic Party. We are our strongest when we stand together.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack. We're at a time where black and brown people, women, and other minorities are being blamed for everything that's wrong with this country.
So let's fight together for a stronger and more inclusive Democratic Party. Good afternoon, DNC! Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support in electing me as your DNC vice chair, because in a time of crisis, leadership matters.
My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the...
I've spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people, all 340 million of them.
Work to do to organize, show up, and win. And that is why I'm asking the people who have stood with me in this ride, because you know the work that I do to protect the vote.
All right.
Which one was non-binary?
Hold on.
Wait, I have so many questions.
I know you do, but hold on. We can't do it yet because you got to let me do the punchline.
Okay.
So you got to let me do the punchline. So out of all that, I want you to meet your new DNC chair, folks. Some fucking white guy.
Is that true?
We love black people so... Yes.
It's true.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's
yes.
Fucking awesome. Excuse
we
my
love
language.
black people so much. Let's put another white guy in power.
Yes.
Here's the entire... This is the hypocrisy that Amy was saying. I mean, give me a break. You can't make this shit up. Go ahead.
I just, okay, first of all, the pearl necklaces, look, I love certain pearl necklaces. We'll just say that, Matt, so your head doesn't go
I was
somewhere
like, holy shit. Amy, come on.
I do. These were a lot. Some of the hairstyles, I don't like to judge people, their appearance. However, if you have lashes that come down to your cheeks and I can't even see your eyeballs and like the hair, it's just too much for me. And yes, this is great. I love it. It was mostly black women, which we all love a strong black woman. Don't get me wrong. We all support you. However, you don't represent the majority of your party. They are white men who are crying in a freaking closet right now. And that's who you got. So I think it worked out.
I want to show you this. I want to show you the staff of the DNC.
Oh.
Pretty much a whole bunch of white guys and David Hogg, the biggest Second Amendment gun grabber and liberal liblab in the world. This is about the most least diverse panel I've ever seen of just what the
you have the black guy, you have a black lady and a Hispanic. That's diverse.
I'm just really bummed that Black Professor Trelawney didn't win. I was really voting for her.
She looked Professor Trelawney for sure.
Yeah, just I think, I had a couple of favorites in there. The one that she's just getting up there and they're applauding. Listen to me. I'm standing up here. You need to listen to me. Shut the fuck up and listen to me. And then I'm sick and tired of being the first one, the last to be hired and the first to be fired. No, sweetie, you guys are the first and only to be hired right now because white people can't get hired because of DEI bullshit.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, but that's how it was.
Because I don't know if you know this, but like Costco is standing around, but every major corporation is shedding its DEI policies, and they've wanted to.
Good.
They opened up a mess. They knew this. They knew once it started, it just steamrolled when they empowered these people. I quit for a reason. I will never go back to the corporate world. It has nothing to do with black. I hired black people, Mexicans, lesbians, and gays because they were the most qualified. I didn't give a shit what color they were. So Democrats, if you want to be a part of a party that actually doesn't care about those things, this is how you do it. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Carrie said a good point. She's like, well, what if the new DNC chair identifies as black? That's a good point. Very diverse.
Yep.
So we might have a new member of our family. We're working on it, and it looks pretty good. Do you have a picture for us, Liv?
Yeah, I'll send you one
So
real quick.
the kids wanted to get another cat, and I said, I don't. First of all, we're not going to get a cat as cool as Yenny.
No, the funny thing is,
go ahead.
The funny thing is we went to the pet store to get crickets yesterday, and in the exact same cage that Yenny was in, where we adopted her, is Yenny's twin, but with black fur. And of course, she was beautiful. So I inquired about her, and the email I got today was, unfortunately, she's a bit of a diva and doesn't like other cats now.
Find the picture.
I
have to continue to tell you to do it because you won't. And then then we'll just have to pause and go, where's the picture? And we won't be able to go ahead.
So
tell your story, but find the picture at the same time.
I thought that was hilarious. She really is Yenny's sister from another mother. I gotta get this thing.
Just take your time. I got something else to do. So I want to talk about R3. We love him to death, and he is just an amazing human being. His mother, Megan, stays in contact with us, and R3 is a firefighter in Bakersfield, California, and he is my nephew. He is just a good kid, and today he started his treatment for chemotherapy, and his entire battalion came out in Bakersfield to kick him off his first day. His first day has been complete. He's a little nauseous. I'm talking to him right now. I'm talking to my aunt, who I love very much. Here's a picture of him.
That is so sweet, by the way. I mean, that is like, most of us have, oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, he's so
looks
young.
Just like a,
it's
he looks
just
like
so
his
sad.
He's 22. He was born exactly 1 month before we got married.
Yeah. He is just a baby. That's so sad. We're all rooting for him, though. I'm praying for him. But
oh yeah, we are too. Go ahead.
I would just say for his whole battalion to show up, if you've been in, is that his girlfriend, wife?
Is his Destiny girlfriend?
She's cute. She's super cute.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If you've ever been into a chemo treatment facility, they're usually not huge. They're pretty small for the most part, and they don't let people in. You have to So for them to show up, I'm sure they had to wait to take a turn to get in. That's just really sweet to do.
Yeah, it's just kid's a good kid. Love him to death. He's gonna win. We know this, and he's gonna fight it. But I figured I'd give you an update. Liv, did you send me a picture?
I did. I sent you two.
So possibly a new addition to the family. We are going through the adoption process right now.
And this is a rescue. These are foster to adopt. This is a pet rescue in our area.
And this
my gosh.
This
is that a boy or girl?
Girl.
Girl.
It's a husky Australian shepherd.
The eyebrows are killing me. I love it.
Yeah,
She's so cute.
her name's gonna be Ash, because it kind of looks almost like Ash Wednesday on the forehead.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, but Ash is what we're thinking of, and we're going through the adoption process right now, and we're hoping to add another member of the family so her and Yenny can. Yenny is going to be pissed for a little bit, but the dog's supposed to be very good with cats, and Yenny was good with dogs when she went through her adoption family. So we think she's going to be a good member of the family. And I've wanted a dog. I want someone at my feet. I want that dog that hangs out when I work on videos or go play video games and jumps up in the bed, and we're kind of excited. So there we are. Okay.
So when will you know? When will you have the answer?
Oh, we have a phone call tomorrow.
Yeah,
with the foster family, and then we go from there.
And she's predominant shepherd with a little bit of husky in her. Yeah. So
she's so cute.
Yeah. And no, we've never had a husky. I know I'm very, very well aware of huskies. But she has more shepherd in her and they think it's a question mark on the husky. You can see a little bit in her face. But shepherds are extremely even tempered. And very good dogs.
Strongly disagree. I had a crazy one.
Well, once again, that's
no,
everybody.
I know. You get the one outlier.
But that's everybody.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, golden retrievers, they're the devil. And I'm like, I had a golden retriever.
No,
It's
they're
the coolest
amazing.
damn dog.
Yeah.
It just depends who.
I had a great shepherd years ago, and then the last shepherd I had, which was also years ago, was mentally definitively diagnosed by several doctors that it was crazy. It was a crazy dog. So
yeah, and I've heard
but they're usually good dogs.
I've heard Australian shepherds are good because they're a herding dog and they're very good with other animals and they're very protective of the kids. And you know what? Here's the thing. I have heard every good and bad about every breed of dog. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Jack Russell Terrier. Don't do it. They're Satan. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get an English Bulldog. Don't do it. And I'm just like, nobody knows. It just depends on the dog and whatever. We're going to have a good time.
I just sent you the picture of the other cat just so they could see why.
No, we're not doing that. That cat's not coming in our house. All right.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to meet her. Like, I'm so excited. And we'll dog sit. You know that we don't have a dog, but we do dog sit for like everybody because we don't have a dog. So
yeah, it's my understanding that she is very mellow, extremely lovey, and a cuddly dog. But not like hyperactive crazy. She's already potty trained. She's already crate trained. So she's got the high end smarts, and everything they're saying about her is that she is a very good house dog. Very easy on the leash. Just all good things. So we're excited. And either way, we'll work it out, and whatever she lacks, we'll train. So or we'll just give her to Christy Noam and we'll fix it that way.
Oh gosh, that's horrible.
Too soon? Too soon?
No, it's just horrible.
It's too soon. So here's the thing. You come into this country. The interesting thing is Olivia's friend is coming over from school tomorrow to have a conversation with me in regards to politics. And
Olivia
Hayden's friend. He's looking at me.
Tired. Hayden's friend is coming over and wants to talk politics. And of course, I'm like, sure. Set some ground rules, right? I mean, no crying. So I'm really excited to dive into this topic. But I grew up in a family that supported legal immigration. My father employed about 100 amigos, some of them illegal, some of them on a pathway to citizenship. But they were some of the kindest, and honestly stopped me from getting my ass kicked by all the gangs in Ventura because everyone knew Mateo. And they're like, oh, it's Mateo, it's Ricardo's son, and hands off. I gotta pass. And all the gangsters were like with me. And it offered me a level of protection at my school. Because I didn't go to a good school. I went to a tough school. And Ventura is a very rich area, but not the west side. And you get into the avenue and down there, it's tough. So I went to a school I didn't go to Boyna. I was supposed to go to Boyna. We lived like 3 miles from Boyna, and that's the cocaine and elitist preppy Socia. I went to the greaser school. And I'm glad I did, because I would much rather be a greaser than a Socia, to be honest with you. But don't let the white boy fool you. I grew up in gang-ridden areas in California, and I had to learn to adapt and survive. And I was not tough in any way, shape, or form. I was a pussy. Went in the military and got some skill sets, but I depended on people like that. So I grew up with the amigos. So I have a very high respect for Mexicans and Chicanos.
You married one.
You're not a Chicano, but I grew up and you are kind of Mexican, but I grew up with it, and so I respect it. But this new group, I am now to the point where I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're DACA. I don't care if you're an asylum seeker. I don't care if you're on an extended visa that's expired. If you are in this country illegally, I want you gone. Because I don't want the story that I told of England, which you missed. But if you go back to Leroy and did you hear that story?
I don't know if it was that one, but I heard a story. I also heard an Ireland story, which was just heartbreaking. It's just too much.
It is. So I'm going to show you a video, and then I want to get reaction from you too, and we'll have a conversation about this. I'll talk about Donald Trump and some other stuff, but watch. This is in California.
Which remind me tell me to call you tomorrow to tell you what's happening in our area, which you may not be aware of.
No, we can talk about it tonight. Let's watch this because it's a part of the topic. All right, let's watch this real quick. Go figure that this shit's going to lock up. I mean, go figure. I mean, of course it's going to lock up. I got to mute it. But these
sound so cool, though.
Yeah, you've got thousands and thousands, not one U.S. flag in sight. Nope. Blocking traffic. Listen, like Mexicans don't do enough of Mexican roadblocks. Like, we actually need Mexican roadblocks now? Really? I mean, is this where we've come? You are in the United States of America, so let me make sure I understand this. You come across our border, you're a criminal, you're here illegally, you're not a U.S. citizen, and you flee Mexico to have a better life here, and you carry a Mexican flag. Fuck you. I can say that with the utmost security, and I don't mind if people get offended. Fuck you, you pinche cabrón.
It's easier to round them up and get them out. I mean, if they're they'd be that stupid. They're I'm an illegal. Here, come over and get me.
Yep. I don't care how many are illegal citizens or how many are legal citizens. You have a right to protest. You do not have a right to do this. Whether you're an American citizen or whether you are an illegal, you need to be rounded up. 90%, somebody just said, I think it was, Cool Mad Mike says 90% are U.S. citizens. I'm sure that's probably true. 90% of them are breaking the law, or 100% of them are breaking the law. Here's another one. Burning an American flag.
Just shows how much they want to be here, huh? My God, you want to be
that
here
guy's
for a reason. Pisses me off. I mean, you want to be in our country, so support our country. I mean, you came here for a reason. Go home if you don't like our country. This is America. If you don't like America and how it runs, leave. There's the fucking door.
Yeah. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Stay here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Goodbye.
I agree that a lot of those people are probably American citizens. It doesn't matter. What they're doing is illegal. Yeah. You don't have a permit to do that. You cannot go ahead and burn something in a public place without a permit, especially in California. Listen, if you want to go ahead and have the Mexican flag and march, and good for you. Those are your First Amendment rights. But what you are marching for are for criminals. I don't care. They're all criminals. Every one of them. If you jump the border, if you skipped your hearing, if you're overstaying your visa, you're a criminal. And if you're going to charge Donald Trump 90 fucking 7 counts and more federal indictments than Al Capone and Jeffrey Dahmer and Enron combined for a clerical error on an FEC filing from a bill from a lawyer, you need to go to prison for what you just did. You're obstructing traffic. There are 15 different laws that you violated. You should be in jail. And I'm telling you, the time for this shit is about at an end. And you may get away with this in California and New York, but you weren't getting away with this in other places. Amy, tell me about Virginia. What's going on here?
It's not necessarily Virginia. It's just specific to our local area. And I don't know if I am comfortable sharing it right now because I've just heard some things that may not. I'll just call you them. I will call you tomorrow.
All right. No, it's fine. I just wanted to I just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. There's just some things that are happening. I'll just say that I trust the information source, but I haven't been able to personally verify this, but I'm 100% trusting of this source.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it tomorrow.
I will just say it's, yeah.
Well, let's not talk about it then. Let's just take the air out of it. Yeah. I think you're starting to see that these people realize that they're going to have to wait 4 years to do anything, and they are going to explode. Like, they're going to explode. And this is going to fire off. I'm letting you know. And the more he wins, the more angry they're going to become. And here's the funny thing. It looked like Donald Trump screwed up. The Dow went down. Yeah. We dropped almost $700. And it's looming at midnight. These tariffs, 10% to China, 10% on energy, 25% on all other goods for Canada, 25% to Mexico. Oh my God, it's all going to be over. What's he doing in Panama? What's he doing in Colombia? They blinked. Panama blinked, broke their deal with China and signed an exclusive deal with the United States. Canada, $200 million. Putting 20,000 people on the border, creating ISR and technology to go ahead and stop the flow of illegals coming into Canada. Mexico, they promised 10,000 Border Patrol agents under Biden in 2021. They never gave them to us. Trump told them, you got 30 days. Told Canada, you got 30 days. Now what? Watch what happens to the American stock. Watch what happens to the stock exchange tomorrow with a correction. Watch what happens to the Canadian dollar. Watch what happens to Mexico. He is literally putting these people on the world stage. Anyone who fucks with the United States, you want to fuck around? We'll put tariffs on you. We don't care. We've had high prices. They will come down eventually when you come to the table and go ahead and make amends for stealing and ripping us off for the last. I love my Canadian people. I made a post, and I didn't want anyone to get mad at me. I love Mel. I love my Canadian. I love Jeff. I love Greg. I love Thomas. I love all of you guys. But this is what's needed to get the globalist elites out of Canada. This is going to embarrass Trudeau even more. He's kissing Trump's pucker. They gave everything and we gave nothing. Amy, go ahead.
So in Canada, this is happening right now, but there are several extremely large companies that are looking at buying real estate factories in Ohio and Michigan because they don't care about the tariffs. United States is their biggest procurer of their business, so they are going to be moving to the United States. Taiwan is also helping people, companies in China, to leave China to also be able to work in Taiwan or other places that will be safe for them to sell to at a reasonable rate. I think it's great. I was a little nervous too, and I was like, oh my gosh,
right.
Literally these people could band together and really make us hurt. But we're worth more to them alive than dead. So, they can't function without us. And it sounds really cocky to say that, but we are the United States, in my opinion, the greatest economical country that there is. So
Canada has no power against us. I'm sorry. And they can't push us around. Listen, Trudeau made promises. Thomas said it best. He says, like I said to Matt, all he did was give Trump lip service. Why? Because everything he said he cannot do unless he opens Parliament because it's proroged. I don't know what that is. And Trudeau said yesterday that he is not willing to bring Parliament back in. Why? Because Trudeau is a fucking dictator. Here's the thing. If Trudeau doesn't comply, he's got 30 days, and every bit of global influence that he possesses will be gone because the Canadian people will turn because Donald Trump said, okay, I'll hold it off for 30 days. Just do these things. If he doesn't fulfill them, Trump's going to put them back on, and I promise you he's going to hit him with 50. Canada will turn on Trudeau. They will bring pitchforks to pull him out of office. I believe that this is the, and if it doesn't, then you have a responsibility. This is where the rubber meets the road. If he will not usurp he will not give up power and usurps power, and he is not going to allow elections to take place, and he has verbally resigned and he's not going to, then it's now up to the Canadian citizens to go ahead and take that back. And you know what? I'll go over there. I'll come with you. I have said I don't condone violence. I don't condone retaliation against the government. But once they go ahead and do this, you have no choice but to defend your Constitution and your country. If he does this and he will not relent, then it's up to Canada to stand up to him. That's all I can say. Here's the video, and then Olivia, I want to get your thoughts on it. Folks, we are a little bit tight in the hour. We're coming up on 8:30. Are we not, Liv?
It's 8:38.
8:38, 129.34. We're about $220 away from, well, $120 away from goal. No, 220. How much are we?
We are $170.
It's okay. 170 to goal. Simple. 170 to goal. We're really close. If you have not had a chance, please go to thedumbshow.com and donate. This is the 8:30 hour. We go ahead and talk about this. Here's the video real quick on Mexico and Canada.
Look, what I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection. We don't need them to build our cars. I'd rather see Detroit or South Carolina or any one of our, Tennessee, any one of our states build the cars. They could do it very easily. We don't need them for the cars. We don't need them for lumber. We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for energy. We have more energy than.
So earlier his comments, and then here is Trudeau and what he's going to do. This is what he promised. A $1.3 billion border plan, U.S.-Canada joint strike force, $200 million for intel operations, $10K personal for border security, and $10,000, and fentanyl czar to combat smuggling, all coming out of Canada. A complete cave. Mexico agreed to give troops at the border that they promised under Biden, but Biden didn't care and Biden didn't ask for them. Liv, your thoughts?
I think it's great. And it's got to get tough to get better. And to be honest, it can't get any worse than it's been the last 4 years. So let's take the first 6 months of Donald Trump's presidency, and prices might go up a little bit and stuff, but I would rather that happen and then things get a lot better than to keep going in the projection that we were going. But I really like the fact that day one, he was, I mean, even before he was inaugurated, he was already working on stuff, but day one, he went full steam. And I like the fact that he is keeping his word, just like he did in his first term, but he's really keeping his word this time. And I mean, deportations and the tariffs, and he's not fucking around. And I think it's great. And honestly, it really sucks how Biden destroyed our country over the last 4 years. But I think Donald Trump losing the election in 2020 made him a better man and a better president. And I don't think he would have been the president in 2020 if he would have won that he is now.
Yeah, no, I think he's a better, I think he has no fucks to give.
Yeah.
Mexico caved, number one, right?
Yep.
Panama caved, Colombia.
What did Colombia do?
Colombia went ahead and accepted the prisoners and was saying he's going to send his private jet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But
Okay.
he didn't. He ended up sending he accepted the crappy airline they came in. He was going to, and then realized, I don't want criminals on my private jet.
So let's go through the rest. Venezuela caved. Canada caved. We've got mass deportations taking place. Whether people say it's mass or not, it doesn't matter. The criminals are getting out. There will be other processes that will be statewide to get the rest out. And that's going to be up to the states to do that. Hostages are home. DEI programs have been ended. Bureaucracy has been slashed.
Only 2 genders.
FBI purges are underway. USAID funding has been canceled. Gender ideology has been eliminated. DOGE already saved billions. 51 intel agents lost their clearances. Border crossings down by 93%. 93!
Yeah, it's insanely amazing. Yeah.
Reservoirs are filled up by California. Remember when they said, oh, that's a lie. He's not releasing water. MSNBC released a news article and said, actually, that's exactly what happened. California is eating crow. Democrats just lie. These are just a few of the things he's done, and he hasn't even begun. He's obviously working through Ukraine and Vladimir Putin. We know this is taking place. We know there's working on ceasefire. Where are the American hostages? Where are all these wonderful things that Biden was supposed to do? Now, here's USAID. This is going to tick the ladies off. I'm just letting you know. This is something that he canceled. And Doge and team did it. Here are some of the things to listen to. And this is going to make
through USAID over the past several.
This is going to make your skin crawl. This is unchecked, wasteful spending. Zelensky also released a statement that out of the $150 billion that he got, he only got like 80. They're missing like $70 billion. Zelensky's like, I don't know where it went. They keep saying I got $150 billion. I didn't get $150 billion. I got like $80 billion. $80 billion. Is this coming out of their pockets? That's my understanding. This is an investment by Canada to protect their border. It's not on us. Here's Leavitt, Press Secretary Leavitt.
You're watching live coverage. Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
Viewers and the public audience, but it was important to the folks in the media to understand why, say, Hennepin County, which is our biggest county in Minnesota, that's Minnesota.
So you've got this ungodly, wasteful spending. You've got the Defense Department, which has lost almost $9 trillion. Let me say it again. $9 trillion over the last 28 years. $9 trillion. Something has to stop. There needs to be accountability. I'm so sick and tired. Thank you, Thomas. No booze for Canada. Jack Daniels, Bacardi rum, Tito's vodka, Jim Beam, and Bullet bourbon taken off shelves.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thomas.
I got some Bullet bourbon right back here if you want some with me. Your thoughts on this when it comes to USAID and sending this money out at this level? How many heads are going to roll when we actually audit and have oversight and we find out that these sons of bitches have been stealing from us? And we know they are, but now we finally get confirmation.
What was I going to say? I just had a thought. I want to see a list of what we spend our tax money on. What is our tax money being spent on?
Yeah.
And it needs to be open and public so people can see it. So, I mean, these Democrats can see this is exactly how much you paid in taxes. And this is how much of that tax money went to this. Okay, so if you paid whatever, $10,000 in taxes for the year, and it breaks down every cent of where the money that you paid into taxes went. How pissed off are people going to be? I don't want my
Democrats won't care.
I am not paying taxes for other countries. I'm paying taxes to better my country. Why do I have to pay for another country to do stuff? And especially stupid shit like that. Are you serious? Ugh. Dumb.
I don't know if Democrats will care. Do you?
What about
I
the
don't
K
know.
cups? Did you guys hear about the K cups?
No, tell me.
No, what?
Okay, I'm gonna have the numbers wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a ballpark in this area. It's like literally $250,000 a month that they spent on K cups, and 90% of their employees were remote work from home people. So there's
Oh,
only
no
like,
way.
I'm not lying. Like this is on that list of like the insane things that they're spending money on. That's a government. I can't think of what it is off the top. I was in my car. I heard this today. I'm like, this is insane. Absolutely insane. So it's on the list. There's like other things just like that too. Like
On
just
K-cups.
asinine shit. K cups for a part of the government where 90% are remote employees. And so you get less than 10% in the office, and they're spending $250,000 on K cups a month. A month. A month. Not a year. A fucking month.
This is some gourmet shit.
Yeah.
I
Like,
know
where are the
my
K
coffee's
cups
good.
going?
I know how good my coffee is, Jules. I don't need you to fucking stand here in my kitchen and tell me how good my coffee is. I'm the one who buys it. I know. Why? Because I don't want that watered down shit. So I spend this. Okay. K-cups, huh?
Yeah.
Go to your Constitution book if you don't have it. You didn't buy one. You should have. We'll go to Article 3, Section 3. And what we will find in Article 3, Section 3, to answer Thomas Austin's question. Okay. So it's on page 17. If you $25. Love you guys. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Ashley.
Aw,
Miss Ashley.
Thank
please.
you, Ashley.
Appreciate you very much. So Article 3, Section 3. Hold on. Let me finish this.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Interrupt.
I forgot there's also they were spending, I might have the K cup thing wrong, but it was something close to that. There were also, it was $1,200 for each paper cup. For each paper cup. $1,200 for one paper cup.
That's
This
a
is
money
like-
laundering scheme. Totally money
Exactly.
laundering scheme.
600,
Totally.
600 million on sushi. So can I get to this?
Yes.
I have to answer Thomas's question because he just gave us $50, and I'm going to answer his question.
Yeah.
Article 3, Section 3. This is where it's going to be. His question was, if California votes to secede from the Union, and there's secede as in SUCEED, and then secede, which is SECED, which is secession. There's a very difference between succession, which is a hierarchy of hierarchy of power or hierarchy of denomination, and then there's to secede, which is to move away, which is the SECEDE. So here it is in Article 3. Read along. It's on page 18. If you don't have the book, you can get this at thedumbshow.com. Constitution of the United States. It has everything. It says, treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies. So it's and it's not considered sedition either. No person shall be convicted of treason unless the testimony of two witnesses to the same overact or on confession in open court. The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attender or treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of this person attainted. Now, here's the thing. It's not treason, but it is unconstitutional. I don't know if it's in this book. No, it's not. It's text. I have a digital copy of this book. It's pulled up, so my eyes are horrible. Texas versus White, 1869, I believe, is the case in regards to this, and it's not in the book. Essentially, what it basically says in this court finding is that states cannot unilaterally secede from the Union. that it is unconstitutional to do so. So the Civil War establishes when the South tried to secede from the Union, this was an act of war. If California does it, it isn't treason. It is considered sedition, and it is an act of war. If they wanted to secede, there's a couple things they need to do. A statewide vote in California could show popular support, but it would have no legal effect. Secession would require congressional approval. And given its economic and strategic importance, California leaving the Union is highly unlikely to be permitted by the body of Congress, which would require a 2/3 majority to do so. Excuse me, a 3/4 majority to do so, because they would have to change the Constitution to do so. So it would take a 75% majority. We can't agree that water is good in this country, 75% of the people. So it's legal. You can vote on it, but you just can't do it. To answer your question, I hope that answers. Folks, if you like the answer and you want to learn how to do that yourself, it's right here in the Constitution of the United States. It's got all the amendments, Constitution, court cases. It's got biographies of our founders, everything, all right here. Leather-bound book, 144 pages. It's available. It's 9x6. It's a full-size book, and it's available only through thedumbshow.com. It's not available right now in the Library of Congress or Smithsonian if you're interested. It needs a 3/4 majority. It's a change to the Constitution, not a 2/3. 2/3 is to propose an amendment. Trudeau has no balls, Thomas says. $21.10. I did say that last night.
Thank you, Thomas.
Rick says it would also need a 2/3 state approval. It's actually, no, it's a 3/4 because it has to modify and amend the Constitution. And it's already established in the Constitution. So you would need more than a 2/3. 2/3 propose amendment with vote. And to change the Constitution or an amendment, you need a 3/4 majority, or you need a convention of states to do so. And you don't want to do a convention of states. Any questions on that?
No.
Outstanding. Getting to the next topic in just a second. Folks, we're about $70 away. Let's make it happen.
Join WimKen.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at WimKen.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
A vast majority of Americans are against against Trump's tariff. You guys, listen to this, and then we're going to go to the Grammys. I want you to listen to the reporting and how we are not talking to 100,000 people a show. I don't understand. Tom Shin says, yes, I do. We don't have an extradition treaty with Russia, so it doesn't matter. Putin can say whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care what Putin says. I want him to end this stupid war, get the Donbass region, get Donsk, cut it apart. It's a civil war anyway. Exfil Ukrainians to the west, exfil the Russians in place, and just get the fuck out of this area. I'm sick and tired of this. So fuck Putin. Sorry. And I'm not coming down on you. I'm coming down on Putin. Sorry for the language too. Here's the CNN reporting, this expert reporting where we do 10 times better than these yokels. Listen to this, Liv. This is for you too. Enjoy this. Then we'll talk about the Grammy.
China, Mexico. Look at this. Just 38% support. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to figure out that 51% oppose is larger than the 38% support. Look, Trump has done some fairly popular things in his first few weeks in office. This is not one of them. No. Horrible, 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 to quote Charles Barkley. The American folks are opposed to...
They're opposed because they don't understand it, and he's about to tell you why. Listen.
These tariffs, when you ask it specifically like this about the three countries, or if you ask it more vaguely about tariffs overall, they simply put, do not like it, Mr.
It's interesting. Even with China in the question,
Correct.
People say that they are opposed to tariffs. The majority here, and there's not a majority on a lot of things these days. How about how Americans say they want to see Donald Trump focused in this first 100 days and whether tariffs should be a focus?
You know, the two big focuses for Trump in the polling are immigration and the economy. Tariffs ain't it, my dear friend. Tariffs ain't it. Trump should focus on tariffs. In November of 2024, when Ipsos asked it, it was 1%. Look at what happened in December of 2024. It doubled. It doubled, but to only 2%. When you double to only 2%, you know that the American people don't want Trump's focus to be here. They don't like it. They don't want his focus to be there. They want it to be on other issues.
Are they paying attention? Do they notice that this is happening?
Yeah, so the big question is, Trump has done a lot of things that are unpopular in the past, but the poll numbers haven't moved. That may be the case here, but I'm a little skeptical of that. Why? Take a look at weekly Google searches for tariffs. Look how much higher they are versus a year ago. They're up 2,400%. That reaches a 21-year high. Folks are paying attention when there are more Google searches for that than for Taylor Swift, who almost always is in the top of Google searches.
Oh, my God. Did this jackhole just... Yenny, what the hell are you doing? Okay. Did this jackhole just say because... Do you guys understand how searches work?
Yes.
Do you understand that probably... I don't know the number. I would garner a guess. Thank you. $20. Thanks for covering the government spending. You got it, JD.
Thank you,
I would
JD.
garner a guess that 50% of those searches are actually bots. Are actually out of country, since Google is a world company. There are, of course, people are going to go ahead and Google tariffs and to have a basic understanding of what it is, because a lot of people don't read the Constitution or they don't read world history and they don't understand. But to assume that they are getting the right information when every single person is calling tariffs the boogeyman and it's against free market. What it is it is the United States has always floated the bill. We're like that uncle that always comes into town and he takes you take him out to dinner, and then when the bill comes, everyone looks at him and he's like, I got it. And he pays for it and rolls out a few $100 bills and leaves a tip and takes care of dinner, and everyone milks off of them. We're done with that shit. Tariffs are a great way to renegotiate. Donald Trump did this under USMCA. He completely went after NAFTA and that trade agreement and negotiated these prices with Canada in his first round. Well, people are like, well, Trump did it. Why is he upset? Well, because Trump got what he wanted the first time, and now he's going back for more. Because he's the uncle who's paid for everybody's fucking dinner for their entire existence and protected them with military. And now he's putting his foot down and saying, hey, I'm retired. It's your turn to pay up. United States is done floating the bill. Liv, your thoughts on CNN? Amy, right after that.
I don't have any thoughts on CNN. I don't trust anything they say. They have been lying for years. They have absolutely no substance to anything they talk about. All it is hate Trump, Trump's a Nazi, Trump's a Nazi, Trump's a Nazi. And what it should be coming out of their mouths is, I'm lying to you, I'm lying to you, I'm lying to you, I'm lying to you. And we will never tell you the truth. And I think CNN needs to be shut down. I don't like them at all. And I don't like any of their anchors either.
Fair enough. Ames?
I'll just point out more hypocrisy in the fact that CNN, along with most other major media outlets, have reported on how China's practices of child labor and basically slave labor is horrifying, and they're against it. Yet when we are taking a stand and essentially saying we're not going to support it as a country, now we are the bad people. So
Massey was against a lot of things. If people would actually look up Thomas Massey's voting record. Thank you, Debbie from Rumble
thanks,
Chat.
Debbie.
If you go look up Thomas Massey's Patriot rating and Liberty rating from his votes, this guy, before he was under an election year, voted against Republicans more often than not. Thomas Massey everyone says he's this great. No, I don't like, I'm sorry. He doesn't vote with Republicans. He is a thorn on the side. And the guy had like a 56% Liberty rating. I'm not okay with that. Lisa Murkowski has a better rating than that. Suzanne Collins has a better rating than that. Liz Cheney voted with Trump 93% of the time. What the fuck is Thomas Massey doing? I'm not a fan of Thomas Massey. I think he's a smart guy. He's a nice guy, but he's a fucking idiot when it comes to standing by conservatives. That's my opinion. I'm sorry if we don't agree. The Willow and Jaden Smith kids. We're in the D block, and we are officially on the Grammys. Beyonce.
Thing 1 and Thing 2 is what they should be called.
Beyonce. Really? Best country music art. Beyonce?
Yeah.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Most obnoxious song ever. She's a talentless hack. Amy, your thoughts on Beyonce winning Black Cowgirl of the Year?
So my mom suggested it, and I was like, y'all can watch it. I'm going to bed. I don't watch that or any award show, so I have no comment. I didn't know she would won. The only thing I heard was Kanye West's. Was it Kanye?
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that in a second.
That's all I heard about. So I don't know, but I will say this: I don't listen to Beyonce. I actually have not heard her country song even now. I've heard like parts of it, but I don't know. I'm sure it's fine though. I mean, I like her voice. I don't agree with her winning though. I don't agree with her winning country. Just saying.
It's like Jethro Tull winning the heavy metal album of the year.
Which Jethro Tull's amazing.
They're just not a heavy metal band.
But the problem is that they literally spent millions upon millions of buying out her record just to give Beyonce the number one. It's such a sham. Everyone knows what he did. Nobody cares about Beyonce when it comes to her country music. This is Kanye West. This is his wife. And if you think she's full nude, she is. And I'm talking from the crack to the split to the double tits. This woman was buck naked. She was wearing a pantyhose dress and it covered nothing. I had to watch it 12 times just to make sure it was really a dress. So I had to watch it 26 times after that. I'm still going to watch a little bit more. She's got a rocking body. She's a good looking woman. There's no doubt. But you want to talk about why aren't the liberals melting down? Why isn't this modern day sexism? Why isn't this a Stepford wife? Why aren't you parading your woman around? And then what in the is up with take my wife's name out of your mouth? Look at these kids. He's wearing a black house on his head.
Man in the High Castle gives a new meaning to it.
It's so cringe. Then his sister.
Willow, right there. Willow, on your left, the shoes a little bit. Over that shoulder, Willow. Willow, can I see the front?
How old are these children?
Who cares?
In their 20s. Freaking nuts.
Everyone's
They're
like,
not minors then. Okay. I'm like.
No, that they should be. They dressed like this when they were minors too.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting is people are like, well, you know, it was a see-through dress.
It was a see-through dress. That's the thing.
No. It wasn't see-through. There was nothing stopping. Guys, girls, you could see her Willy Wonka in her chocolate factory, okay? If she coughed, you could see right up her throat. This woman was fully nude. I can't show it to you. I will get banned. Do you understand? If I show you it, I'm banned. That's how bad it was.
I had heard, I saw something on Facebook about this, and I didn't watch and pay attention, so I don't know. But I heard that he had said something to her. She walked in with a coat, and he said something, and then she took her coat off. So I heard it wasn't very nice or something that he said to her. So it sounds, I don't know.
Okay.
He's always been an asshole, but you know.
Well, he named his kid. Go ahead.
So when he was with Kim Kardashian, right? That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
this is
So
Kanye.
he
This
used
is the
to
guy
control.
hates Jews.
He's the one. Kim Kardashian has said this on several interviews. I don't follow her, but I remember this because I thought, wow, he's so controlling. What a horrible person. That he would control what she would wear, and he would like make her dress more sexy than she was comfortable with, and that he was absolutely and she used to dress like a hooker when she was with him, and now she is more conservative. And I think that just shows that yes, I don't know what his deal is. I'm not a man. I don't identify as one either, but I would not want anyone I'm with. Plus, as a woman, I'm not going to walk out naked. Even when I looked my best, like I wouldn't, like, I'm sorry, but like have some freaking self-respect, have some modesty. Like, what are you proving here?
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Yeah.
I want my $2 and second installment payment. Yeah. I got it. Go ahead. We're listening.
That's it. I don't know her name. I don't think it's her, from what Kim Kardashian said about him and how he would control what she would wear out in public. And I don't know either of I don't know any of these people, but he sounds a little toxic. I don't know him, but he sounds toxic.
I'm only gonna.
Let's see the outfit one time. Let's see the outfit.
I'm gonna have to take screenshots.
Beautiful. And over that shoulder one time.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it.
How old is this lady? How old is she? Like,
I don't
is
know.
terrible.
There's one.
Okay, that's stupid.
Wait.
Over the shoulder. What a reveal.
I gotta flash it, otherwise I'll get struck. Ready? Here it
You
is.
don't need to see that.
Yeah, I do.
We don't.
I do. That's it. Full nude. People are saying she wasn't full nude. She's full nude, y'all. It's horrible. So you're parading a woman around like she's a piece of meat.
Right.
And I'm sorry. Listen, okay. Olivia did some modeling when she was younger in a swimsuit and stuff. Okay, that's different. You're having a woman why not just have nothing on? Why don't you do it like the time when they were going against the old mink coats, and the animals and the furs, and they would literally wear nothing on underneath. Not Jillian Michaels, but there was Jillian, I don't remember her old name. There was quite a few people who did it. But this, he's just staring at her, watching her. It's the most creepiest shit I've ever seen. These people are sick in the head. And the problem is, here's the issue. And then I'm going to turn it over to you two to say whatever you want. Kids are watching this. All my daughter's friends are watching this. They saw all of this on live TV.
Yeah, this is, Hayden said this is her Super Bowl. And I remember I used to love watching the Oscars and the Grammys and the Golden Globes and all that and love watching them. And Hayden's at that age where this is, she was on FaceTime watching this with her friends and discussing it. But yeah, the fact that she had to see this, I really hope that TV blacked it out or something, or put fuzzy bars over it or something.
Yeah, they didn't blur this? They did not blur this?
No, they didn't show this on TV, but it's all over the internet. And she's on all the press are taking, thousands of pictures are being snapped of this lady. And she's having to stand there full nude. I wasn't kidding. You guys thought I was kidding. I'm like, all right, I'll show you, because I'm not kidding. And he's supposed to be a Christian now and found God and all of this other stuff. These people are sick. Thank you, Kimberly.
No, thank you, Kimberly. That's a lie. I'm sorry, but if you're a Christian, you're not going to let anyone in your family do this.
What? So not only do
a fake Christian.
Not only do the left want to go ahead and it's blurred. Not only do the left want to go ahead and pretend that women are men and men are women, and there's no differentiation between the two anymore. But what does this say?
She looks so uncomfortable right now. And the way he's staring at her is so creepy.
Yeah.
This
woman's probably... I just feel like this woman is not okay. Like, she just looks like a deer in the headlights. She looks like she's doing, I don't know, maybe it's because, again, what Kim said, like she said that he made her wear certain outfits that she was not comfortable with, but he wanted to show off her body. Like, it was his property to show off. I don't know him, but isn't he like best friends of like Candace, what's her name? Candace, I used to like her. Candace Owens, right?
Candace Owens.
I want to hear her take.
He hates Jews. Candace won't say anything because he hates Jews, and Candace does too. Candace will say, well, if you just know, yay, this is the way he is. I can't wait for Megyn Kelly's take.
Not
Megyn
okay.
Kelly's going to crush him. But Where is this? Where are men? Where are men who protect women?
Yes,
Where are
someone
men
put
who
a coat
stand
on
up?
this lady. Yeah.
You go up there and stop taking. What about these paparazzi taking photographs and displaying this stuff and putting it all over the internet? Why don't you have some dignity? And here's my biggest issue: is a shitty fucking musician like Kanye and Tupac's dead. You know, it just makes me sick. You got someone like Pac who, in my opinion, I know his issues, was a pretty decent human being and was a hell of a rapper. And you got Kanye, who is just an idiotic, psychotic piece of fucking trash. He's nuts. And because he hates Jews, he gets the limelight. Sorry, this pisses me off. You don't disrespect women this way. Liv, your thoughts on this display of what does the left want to do? I mean, do they really? They say we want to put women in the Stepford Wives situations. Really?
The Democrats, they need to change their party name to the Hypocrite Party. They are just a bunch of hypocrites. That's all they are. I don't know what to say. I'm just completely shocked.
Ariana Grande had a photograph of what her reaction was, and it's something, it's something like this. She's another one who's completely now a loon. I mean, they're all nuts.
Wasn't it the Democratic Party and the leftists that were complaining about the Super Bowl halftime show of Shakira and Jennifer Lopez? How it was too sexy for, being on TV.
I don't think I've ever heard them say that.
I don't know if it was them or not, but then you allow this. I don't know.
Listen, we're not prudes. There's a time and a place for this type of stuff. It's called your bedroom in private. Yeah, it's called, in a private setting. This is just crap. We are we did hit goal. Appreciate it. Our favorite political, yes, thank you so much. Political Girl is back. We're going to be done with our final overtime in just about 30 seconds.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
I'm probably going to have to watch that video at least 10 to 12 more times to really make sure I got it, of how bad it was.
Wait, he's really a Christian?
No authority to access America's money.
That's his claim. Born again.
He's not. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have.
No, he's not he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
He's just like Diddy and the rest. Thank you, Elizabeth Hall.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're the best, folks. We're in overtime. Here it is. Politics Girl, Amy and Olivia's favorite, is up next. Overtime is for you. An act of war. An act of war. Politics Girl is here. The loneliest woman in the kitchen who does everything in the kitchen except cook. Here she is.
The richest man in the world.
And do pull-ups.
Is stealing from you. America is being hacked.
Hey, Liv, listen to this.
As we speak, and no one is stopping it. Our data is being compromised. Our personal information, our social security numbers, our banking information, our income tax returns, our tax ID numbers. We are being robbed, and the president opened the door to the thief. We now have an unelected billionaire close to having complete control over all of our nation's money. Your tax dollars, your social security payments, the money we use for highways and bridges and safe air and rail travel, the tax dollars we invest to make sure we have clean air and safe food and drinkable water, the money used to seek medical cures and to stop terrorist attacks and prosecute criminals. These people tried to freeze our money, but they were stopped because they had no business touching it. So now they have gone right to the source, the U.S. Treasury. And when the person in charge of the Treasury said, no, you have no business being here and no authority to access America's money, the richest man in the world had that man fired, just like he had the head of the FAA fired. And look what happened after that. The money in the Treasury is our money, and the richest man in the world has his hands in our pocket. Now, the only people who can stop this are Republican politicians because they are in charge. Democrats can complain. They can draw attention to the crimes. They should be screaming from the rooftops, and I don't know why more of them aren't. But it is up to the Republicans who are in power to shut this down. If you count on VA benefits, Social Security checks, unemployment benefits, disability, Medicare, Medicaid, grants to run your business, or if you just want a functioning government that isn't completely broke because we opened the vault to a bunch of thieves, then this should be intolerable to you. Elon Musk is a virus the president has infected us with, and he will trash our nation and crash the economy the same way they're crashing planes. It doesn't matter who you voted for. You didn't vote for this. What you're witnessing is a hostile takeover of the United States, and too many people are acting like they can't do anything about it. Excuse me, but if another foreign national with deep ties to China and Russia, who supported the neo-Nazi party in Germany, waltzed into the Treasury Department and locked out government workers from their own computers and buildings while they downloaded all of our most personal information onto their own hard drives, they would be arrested in minutes. This man is robbing us blind and we're all acting like, I don't know, I guess he's allowed? No, he's not allowed. In fact, a private individual with access to Social Security alone is a violation of the data privacy laws in every state across this nation, and state AGs should have filed criminal charges like yesterday. The president is only allowing this because this is the guy who bought him the election. Trump wanted to be king of America and Elon gave it to him. The problem is, Elon wants to be king of the world and he needed America to do it. He already had the infrastructure, Neuralink, Starlink, SpaceX, and don't forget X to spread any false information he wants. But he needed endless finances and leverage and power, and Donald Trump just opened the door to the wolf. The richest man in the world is stealing from you. And if we were honest, we would call it what it is. An act of war.
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit! There's so much wrong.
That President Trump or Elon Musk is the richest man in the world? Because I don't think either of them are.
Elon Musk is the richest man in the world.
Oh, is he? Okay. I'm going to assume she voted for Obama, and she was totally for him spying on us as Americans, and everything she said that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing is what Obama did. So,
I love how she said that Elon Musk is going to make America broke. Lady, I don't know if you've been paying attention since you've been in the kitchen and drinking your fucking martinis at 2:00. We're broke, sister. And the whole reason why we need private oversight and a private entity is because the federal one hasn't done his job in fucking 50 years. We haven't balanced the budget in 50 years, since John F. Kennedy. Oh, Bill Clinton balanced the budget. No, he had a surplus because he gutted the military. If you cut $360 billion from the U.S. budget and it's the military, yeah, you're going to go ahead and have a surplus. But that doesn't mean you balance the budget. Last thing I'm going to say, that I'm done for tonight. I'll hand it off to Ames and Olivia to go ahead and take us home. It's not like this guy didn't tell you what he was going to do. The hard part about liberals is that he did. And it wasn't Project 25, but you fucking boneheads, that's the only thing you read. And instead of going to Agenda 47 and actually reading it and finding out what Trump was going to do, is everything he's doing. So your real problem isn't what he's doing. The problem is that there's a politician that's actually keeping their word. And what you want is the status quo, but we're sick of paying for eggs. We're sick of paying for groceries. We're sick of property taxes. We're sick of lumber being the price it is. And yes, we know it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better because we have to unfuck what's been fucked. But what you don't get to do is pee on us and telling us it's raining. You don't get to say that after 11 days, Donald Trump put us in this situation when it's been 4 years of Biden and you didn't say word one. I have a real problem with people who sit there and sky is falling on every single thing. We gave Biden a chance. We didn't want the problems we had. We stood by and we watched Afghanistan. We watched fentanyl. We watched inflation. We watched that he killed another 670,000 people under COVID. And the only reason I say that, even though I don't believe it, is because you say Donald Trump killed 400,000 when he didn't either. You lost the election on every single possible way. We are going to seat 1 to 2 SCOTUSes, which will be generational change, and you won't be able to touch SCOTUS for 50 years. We won the House. We won the Senate. We won the gubernatorial.
There's a reason why.
Everything else is leading that we're going to kick the living shit out of you in 2028 because people are sick of your virtue signaling. They're tired of being in fear from you. They're not afraid of Nazis. They're not afraid of the Ku Klux Klan. They're not afraid of a bunch of uppity conservative Christians. What they're afraid of is your fucking virtue signaling and canceling and destroying their lives if they don't lockstep with every single thing you say. You resemble Nazis, and we're not calling you that. But if it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, and talks like a duck, quack motherfucker. Go ahead, Amy. Oh.
Ditto. I don't know. You said it so well. Absolutely agree. I don't know who this lady is. I've never heard her before, but she's
on
great.
CNN all the time. She's on
great.
CNN all the time.
Go fucking figure, CNN.
Pardon the language. Sorry, folks. We're grumpy.
She's fantastic. There's so many things. I want to go back and rewatch that because I would like to look at it from like a legal standpoint with her accusing the government of crashing planes, because I feel like that would be like a red flag. Yeah. And I feel like Donald Trump is so petty that he would just go after her if there's a legal grounds for that. I don't know the wording she used, but I was like, wow, that's really ballsy, lady. And she does have them because I saw her pull-up bar in the kitchen. So clearly she is.
That's the great thing about having the richest man in the world. He's not trying to steal your Social Security checks and your freaking EBT card.
I didn't. Oh, sorry, Amy.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I didn't hear her complaining about Zuckerberg and Soros buying Biden the election, but you know.
Right. $500 million
whatever.
From Zuckerberg into Democrat strongholds. Yeah, that wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. I'm wondering if her hair is a wig, because she seems to me like one of those women who shaved her head and went on a freaking sex strike.
She doesn't have any, but I promise you, nobody is putting up with that shit. There's not a man on the earth. Like, every single husband she ever had is in an insane asylum where he's 6 feet under because he offed himself. Nobody is going to live with her. I can hardly stand watching her for 5 minutes because it's such nonsense. It's not true. The things that she's saying, private oversight. The President of the United States is responsible for the money allocated by Congress. Do you understand that? Because he is the executive branch, and his job is to spend the money given to him to enforce the laws of the United States. He has every right to use oversight in any way, shape, or form that he deems fit. He doesn't need your congressional approval. And it's funny that all you liberals are scared when people like Zelensky are now saying, I only got 80 billion. Where's my only 80 billion, man. And he's sitting here going, where's the $150 billion? When we know that the Defense Department's spending money, when we know we're spending money on coffee and K-cups and hammers that are worth $800, maybe, just maybe, this is literally some drunk fucking crazy business executive who goes into a strip bar and turns in his T&E report with a napkin that says Hooters on it. And he goes ahead and declares $3,700 and shoving it into some lady's G-string as a corporate expense. Because that's what they're doing. It is a free ride on your nickel. And they steal from you. And it's about damn time that they hang for it. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm done. 30 seconds. Amy, give us our closing for the O time, and we'll be moving on down the road.
Super fun show tonight, everyone. Thanks for having me on. Thank you guys so much for the amazing donations. We love you guys. We appreciate the support. Still praying so much for R3. And if he needs anything, or I know a lot of times, I don't know how they are at his chemo center. I don't know if they call it an infusion center there or not, but a lot of times they'll ask for donations of things. So if they need anything, please let us know. I'm happy to give blankets or whatever they may need, lotion, whatever they need. So keep us posted on that. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Wednesday. It's great to be here. Yeah.
Amy?
Yeah.
Did you put purple highlights in your hair?
No.
It's light. Is it the light?
Oh, it looks cool.
Oh, it does.
Go back. Oh,
yeah, it does.
It looks like you grayed, did white and purple. It actually looks
cool.
really cool. I was like, oh my God, she totally did her hair.
No, but it's so ironic that you say that. I think that's God fucking with me right now. Because
William Mathis says people don't realize that Satan loves that fuck word. I don't give a fuck what Satan cares about. I don't care. Because I don't worry about
it's
Satan.
It's not in the Bible that Satan loves it. So fuck off.
It's not in the Bible.
Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
William, listen, hold on. William's been around here before. William, I'm not telling you to
sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not either.
That was her. I'm not telling you to fuck off.
I'm not either.
You have a right to say whatever you want. But I don't listen to Satan. I don't allow him airspace and airtime in my head, and I don't allow him to influence me. He has many times. You didn't say anything about the words that I've used in the vernacular. You didn't talk about me talking about physics. You didn't talk about me talking about the Constitution. You didn't talk about that most people who listen to me have to get a thesaurus, but you did go ahead and focus on the F word. I think it's time for us to be a little angry. I think it's time for us to stop sitting here and listening to liberals trash people and call them Nazis and racist and xenophobic and destroy our country. And you know what? I'm just a little fucking pissed. So I'm going to say it, whether Satan likes it or not, fuck him. Okay? Appreciate you having an opinion, buddy, but I don't cuss a lot on this show, but tonight I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. Look what he just did with tariffs. He is winning on everything he touches. If they would just shut up and let him do his job. And if Satan watches my show, you can go ahead and defriend me. You tell him, Yenny. Liv, get your minute out.
Thomas Austin said that lady grew up in Canada and then moved to New York City. Dude, check if she's legal. Not get her the fuck out of here.
Let's ship her out of here.
Ship her out, deport her, get her out. Can she even be here legally?
Yeah. William, I appreciate your perspective. I'm not insensitive like Amy. I can't believe that Amy told someone to F off on the...
I was kidding.
Satan doesn't find it funny, and he took over your soul for a second. Obviously, she was possessed with her pink hair and white stripes, and she got her...
It must be because I'm wearing like a flannel. I was touring farms today, so I think it may be like bounce back or something. I don't know.
Either way, folks, we love you. We appreciate you. Liv, tell them when we're on again.
You and Leroy will be on tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Eastern.
William says, you must not. I'm far from a liberal. Did I call you a liberal? I didn't call you a liberal. William, we don't cuss a lot in this show. Actually, these two cuss more. I used to cuss like a sailor, and I am a sailor. I've been really good lately. This is probably the most cuss words I've expressed in probably a year. These two. Potty mouths. Bad. See you tomorrow.
Children all day long.
Exactly.
All right, William, we love you. Amy didn't mean it. She's just angry.
No, I was totally kidding.
Hair. Her pink liberal hair. She's totally a lib lab. Just don't worry about it.
She missed her chance to shave her head and go on a sex
She wanted to go on the red carpet and wear literally a stocking, a pantyhose dress, and she didn't get to. She's a little
There's still time. There's still time.
God, I hope. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. See you tomorrow. Good night. Bye.
Y'all.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.